I was expecting a little increase from last year, not the magnitudinal increase that we have. But we have a lot to do. The government recognizes that, so I think it's definitely warranted. What the government has done and has recognized that we need to make investments today for the future. And this budget, when you look at it, it really touches all corners of society. And it just doesn't take into account the future needs of the country, but also the current need. There are many highlights of the budget, but I would, two in particular struck me. One is definitely the cornerstone of any developed nation and developing country developed country is proper infrastructure that is needed. And with the investment of over 200 billion on new roads, new bridges, and also I think some of that also includes investment, or maybe it's another 70 billion investments in additional areas that are going to be opened up for housing, sanitation, water, and so forth. These are things that are seminal investments that are needed for any developing nation that wants to be welcoming for future investments, and also to increase the standard of living and the comfort of the people. It's undisputed that a hallmark of this administration has been accessibility. The president, as we talk right now, potentially he's on outreach someplace. Every day there's outreach by whether it's His Excellency or the other ministers of government. So I would encourage Guyanese, go to these forums, go to these outreaches, meet with the leaders, the leadership, and not just at the NDC or the RDC level. You have the ability to reach out to the leadership who sits in the cabinet to make decisions relating to the future of our country and resolving issues that are taking place right now that we need answers to. And go and tell them your concerns and let them know what you like, what you dislike. But I think, and these outreaches are very transparent, they're often live streamed. And I think people have today more than ever the ability to participate in shaping the future of the country, in particular how we spend our money. Impressive spending, allocated spending for the 2024 budget is over $90 billion to upgrade the security sector, and that's money going towards the police force, the prison service, the fire service, to help give us a safer environment, and also investments in technologies to effect that type of a change. And that's the direction we also need to continue going in, is adopting new tools, more cutting-edge tools in keeping our population safe. Healthcare, we're standing on a precipice. The construction, I believe, has already started on one of the marquee projects in the region as far as healthcare goes, which is that maternity hospital that is currently being constructed. And in addition to that, I believe the budget allocates over $30 billion towards projects such as that, and upgrading of other hospitals and building of new hospitals in areas outside of Region 4. In more rural areas. So those populations, so the healthcare services that Guyanese could expect in 2024, you don't necessarily need to come to Georgetown if you have a particular serious problem. You will be able to access those services once these facilities are constructed in rural areas in Essequibo and Berbice. And that is very welcome for many persons who live in these areas and also who travel to these areas. The poverty reduction measures, I see it as this is a serious concern for government, and they're showing it, demonstrating it as they've done, because there were measures in 2023, and some of those measures have continued and have been amplified in 2024 budget. One such is, as you mentioned, the raising of the threshold from, I believe it's 85,000 to 100,000 monthly. They have maintained certain policies from last year, such as the 0% excise tax on fuel, and also to ensure that the cost of goods, despite what's going on around the world with shipping crises and and international and wars internationally that has the impact of increasing the price of imports, they have maintained that the cost of freight for the purpose of calculating taxes remains at pre-pandemic levels. One of the new introductions that I really like is the introduction of the removal of the student loans for tertiary education once certain criteria are met. That is very important for where the country is looking to go, because we want to develop a very sharp population that we don't have to bring in expats to perform certain tasks and to enter certain career fields. We will develop the people here to do that, and by giving and the world over, student loans is a debt that is a burden that many people carry for many years after they graduate. So the fact that the government is not just spending to increase the quality of the education that we get, but also making that education much more affordable, especially once you demonstrate that you're doing something with that education, I think that's very admirable, and it will incentivize many more people to go to university and get that degree and get higher education and contribute to society at a higher level. Absolutely. I think it's clear that the needs of all sectors of society have been touched on, and as you said it's a much bigger budget than many persons expected. There's one aspect that I wasn't clear if it was included. I know there's a lot more spending on infrastructure, but being from the mining side, to further bolster traditional sectors, I'm hoping that within this budget there is spending allocated specifically for hinterland roads that will help to aid mining operations, and not just to upgrade existing roads, but also to introduce new roads into other areas. Those really go hand in hand. To just looking at as I touched on earlier, the spending projected, the planned spending, the allocations towards infrastructure, the allocations towards agriculture sector, those spending just in the construction sector that has already been booming and will continue to boom, there will be massive increase and massive needs for more persons to be special and semi-skilled and skilled laborers, labor force to enter this sector, and it will also create for a more competitive job environment with better salaries and for everyone. That will have the impact of not just increasing disposable income, but discretionary spending by the population. So you have the increase in disposable income and increase in jobs, but then you also will have the increase in discretionary spending. So the businesses in all sectors, whether it's the service sector, when someone is the owner of a nightclub, a bar, a fun park, they will benefit from that discretionary spending, and the owners of the supermarkets and all the other businesses that deal with our needs will also benefit. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the population, and it's a win-win for the business community, for sure. In addition to the poverty reduction measures that we discussed earlier, that's included in the budget, some new and some continuation of initiatives that were in place last year. In particular, the spending and the focus government has on putting every Guyanese in their own home, that's an initiative that shows government cares about the Guyanese population, and government is in touch with what the Guyanese population wants. All of us, young and old, would like a roof over our head, and to know that roof is ours, that you own it, and we're definitely on a fast track to have many Guyanese achieve that in this year and the coming years.